So, this Robert Eggers guy made The Witch, which was like a $4 million movie.
Yeah.
Then he made The Lighthouse, which was the next level up. It had Willem Dafoe.
It was like $20 million, wasn't it?
11
million.
Which is a bargain of a film.
Fucking A,
When you
yeah.
look at how much like Endgame and shit cost.
But how much did they make is the question, right?
Oh, fucking nothing.
Nobody went.
I think The Lighthouse got released in the middle of the COVID pandemic.
Yeah,
so I don't
yeah.
think it went out to cinemas.
But
It's just like,
$11 million is not a hell of a lot to try and claw back, right?
No.
No.
No? Maybe not. Anyway,
No, not as far as movies go.
this movie was $90 million. So it went to like a bigger studio, got $90 million.
They're never gonna make a bloody. No one's gonna see this, and they're never gonna take a chance on him ever again.
Just go on Netflix and watch Valhalla Rising. You're done.
That's it.
That is a good movie. But yeah, what did you guys think? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I was watching it, right?
Okay.
I'm thinking, and you know, it's like
were you watching it though, or were you not?
focusing on something else, existential.
Falling asleep.
No,
On your phone.
watching it, and it's like, you know, not all I can think of is, you know, 90% of it. It's beautiful, it's brutal, right? It's just really super.
Coffee.
Fucking hell.
See, it's not just. It's super over dramatic, and it's kind of like throwing my head in. And then I realised, oh, this is Hamlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my main criticism is that I don't know whether the play stuff, how well it actually
I've never
translated
read
to the
Hamlet,
script.
so I can't.
But it was obvious that it was a play,
Yeah.
right? Like there were obvious moments where it's like, this
Well,
is a play, right?
Because he calls himself Beowulf.
Yeah,
Right.
in reference to
And it's clearly
It's
in reference to fucking Beowulf, especially that end scene looks, the CG in that end scene looks very similar to the same top style of CG that they used in Beowulf in the 300.
Which is Beowulf's a fucking good movie. I like that movie.
Is that the all CGI one?
Where they did CGI over I guess,
top of the,
over the top
I
of
watched
it.
it a long time.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was very similar to like the 300.
In that last CGI scene, but the rest of it was pretty fucking real.
There was some other shit though. There was one scene that sort of stood out to me. I'm pretty certain it was CG, and it was weird that they chose to use CG for it. And that was when the uncle takes over the kingdom.
Yeah.
And he's carrying the mother out.
Where she's like kicking and screaming.
And she's kicking and screaming, and her hair, the way her hair is flowing, I'm pretty sure that was CG.
Was that CGI?
I'm pretty sure he couldn't carry her, or they didn't want to let him carry her, or it didn't look right. Like if we go back and watch it when we get a chance.
I didn't know.
That was the only one that was the only bit of CG that fucking made me go, what the fuck is that?
So the only bit that was not CG is the bit that bothered you.
The live action bit.
The end scene was obviously CG, but that was fine. And like the fucking Valhalla opening of the gates and stuff, that was all that. But you know,
But it was all those were all in service to the crazy sort of like spectacle. You know?
Yeah, so
one of the things that I really liked one of the things that I really, really, really fucking liked is the way that they were all dressed.
Yeah.
Like they didn't like. I don't know. I'm not a fucking historian, obviously, but this would probably have to be one of the most accurate depictions of.
Yeah, he has historians attached to it. And
I was wondering whether that was the case.
It looks really fucking good.
Some of the and this is not a criticism, but like some of the bits that were kind of stupid, right? Like they're on the fire and they're pretending to be a wolf or something.
That was awesome.
No. Even though it was like kind of silly. It was awesome because I had this
intuition. They're all fucking roid monkeys and they're covered in blood and they're howling.
I had this intuition that it was probably closer to reality what it was actually like.
Well, I think in the particular scene that you're talking about, I think what was happening, and again, I don't know much about North fucking history, but they were berserkers. I think that because it was kind of weird.
They go through a meditation where they become bears.
Yeah, and then they're like berserkers,
before they go
and
into
then they're using them as like shock troops to send them in.
Yeah. That scene was fucking awesome.
That was fucking
all
amazing.
the long one takes and stuff.
Oh, well, they're climbing up the
even all the dialogue scenes were shot were just like one long extended take. it didn't cut shot reverse shot. It just had one angle and just followed them around and let them fucking.
But also for how surreal this movie is, it's surprisingly easy to follow.
Well, it's Macbeth. It's what it is. It is Amleth, which is an old Norse story from the sagas. Which Macbeth, Hamlet.
Is it Hamlet? I'm not sure. I don't know which ones are which. Is Hamlet and Macbeth are the same thing?
I don't
know. One of them, the uncle killing the father and the revenge
poison
and whatever.
I don't know that.
I know that it was a play, right?
But I don't know that Shakespeare invented that. Hamlet.
It's Hamlet.
Yeah, well, it was a super simple story, right?
It's a revenge tale.
Yeah. It was, and again, right, the sort of the way that so you had like the normal dialogue. Right, they'd like a normal movie and they're dialoguing with each other, and that's just totally fine. It's like a movie, right? It's like they're real people talking with each other, and then there's a clear separation between that and like important story moments that would be super over dramatic, and they, and they're like, it's super dramatic. It's like the bit on the boat where he leaves her, and she's like,
back to give her a speech,
and it's a play, right? And to me, it just felt a little bit awkward. When I'm watching, I'm going, okay, this doesn't feel like a movie. This feels like, it's like, and this is, I'm not comparing it directly to this, but it's like the Shakespeare with guns. Do you remember that? Yeah, that's it.
I curse on both your houses.
Right, it's like that, right? It's kind of like that.
I thought based on the trailer and shit, it was going to be like, somewhat based in like realism, but then once I realized, it's straight up just a fucking play. I was like, okay, and then I was able to like.
Yeah, you got to get past it once you sort of figure it out.
The part that confused me is when he went down and he fought that skeleton monster, which was really fucking cool.
Yeah,
like, this is high fantasy, but then it undid it.
And
it collapsed.
And it's trying to tell us something. It's trying to tell us, I feel, because there were a couple of moments like that.
Or something.
No, I don't think it was a metaphor.
More a vision.
My interpretation of that was not so much a vision, but my interpretation of it is that he had to go down and face the ordeal in the burrow to retrieve the sword, right? And the saga is going to tell you that he fought a creature. And the reality is maybe he didn't.
I'd agree with that.
And what the movie is doing is showing you both interpretations.
Yeah.
Right? Other than saying it was this or this, it's showing you both.
And it is treading that line, but with being like a real historic drama and then fantasy and then like a Shakespeare play.
I don't think it, well,
maybe if you go back and rewatch it. I don't know that it's a
Shakespeare play. I think it's more of like a saga tale.
Yeah, it is. Well, there's Amleth, which was a Viking story.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know that it
became Shakespeare.
It's more that.
I felt like drama. Shakespearean drama in it though. Like when he kills the wife and the kid, and old mate comes in. That was very Shakespeare.
If you went and saw whatever thing this is based on, or something similar to it, right? Some of those dramatic story critical dialogue scenes or interactions again would look indistinguishable from a bunch of people on stage doing it, right? A bunch of traditional William Dafoe, like fucking William Dafoe doing it on stage, right?
There's like there's a few shots like that where that could just be shot on a fucking stage.
Yeah, which is fine. Again, that's fine. I think I would agree with you. I think you're spot on that was the message the movie was trying to convey. It's like this is both a saga and probably what actually happened. Yeah, which is because I think there were a couple of moments like that.
There were.
There's sort of like high fantasy moments that a couple of like auxiliary shots or something would show it not to be like that or whatever, right?
Yeah,
or a cutaway shot.
Sparingly.
Yeah.
The best part's over when he was fucking revenging that fucking village. And
it turned into a slasher movie, which was cool.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that was great.
They showed like his horror, then just cut back to him. He's just like do.
That's what I don't know why still no one's done that. It's done like a Viking slasher film.
I was actually
that's the best idea ever.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was actually hoping that would be the rest of the movie.
Yes.
It's a lot slower and basically sabotaging this community.
It's like the old 80s slasher film where it's like girl gets naked, girl gets in the shower, girl gets fucking slaughtered, and you just
escalates.
Except it's like two villagers and they're having some like conversation and they're doing something and then they get fucking murdered.
Yeah,
and it goes on to another.
And then
bunch of
everybody finds their bodies all mutilated.
It just keeps escalating.
Yeah,
that would be fucking amazing.
Yeah, I was hoping that was what it was going to be.
I loved that bit and I thought it was awesome. And then it kind of lost steam when he went back to Anya Taylor-Joy's character.
Well, they
had their like love scene and stuff.
It went back onto the trail of the play.
Yeah,
right? It turned into something interesting, like super interesting.
Yeah.
For that segment.
Even like the rated beginning, if it was just that tone throughout it, like.
That was pretty hectic though.
If
it maintained that.
Oh, I would have been over it.
The scene where he like jumps down and
would have
pulls
been
the guy up his horse and shit.
That would have been
fuck.
That would be like Crank or something.
Yeah.
But Vikings.
It takes a particular director to have to do something like Crank, for instance, and have it be engaging all the whole way through.
Yeah, Crank is kind of an anomaly.
Oh,
Mad Max Fury Road is the same. It's very high octane for 2 hours. You're like, oh my god, this is a 2-hour car chase. What the fuck?
The way the tone of the movie was going, I thought it was going to be that.
It went for a long time.
That
went for a long time.
I can't remember. There was a moment where it's like, I think he was, in the boat sailing away or something, and then it might have been that, or it might have been a different moment. And I thought it was the way that it was cut. I thought it was going to turn into it was going to cut straight into like a battle or slaughter, and just fucking escalate. But it didn't.
No.
But then we get the cool berserker. It was. I would say that maybe it was a little bit confused about what it wanted to be. Like throughout, it had lots of different things going on, and it was a little bit confused as to what it was.
I don't know, confused, but
I'd have to rewatch it, but I just expected something different at the beginning, and then it changed several times. But I think if I knew what a weird Shakespearean slasher drama fantasy,
Shakespearean Viking high fantasy saga revenge film.
Trippy, grindy, psychedelic. If I knew that, I think it was amazing. Yeah,
it was amazing.
Yeah.
I really
there was a
enjoyed
beauty in everything, and going from these small little budget films to this big action, he really has like showcased that he can do big scale action set pieces and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. My thinking is that for like an action film, most people are gonna watch this and be like, "What the fuck?
What the fuck's happening?
What the fuck is happening? What the fuck do we care about this? But what
and
the fuck is this?"
Because it's not Doctor Strange.
Yeah, because it's not Doctor Strange.
I wouldn't say.
Is there a Viking? Well, I suppose it's not Thor. No, it's not Thor. Fucking Love and Thunder.
No.
Well, that would be the more.
Yeah.
Both Norse.
There has to be an audience out there for it, like those 80-year-old people
They're all
sat
like
with us.
Obese.
Look,
it's sad because it's a great movie.
It's a fucking good movie.
And these should be the movies. Like you look at the 80s and the 90s and the type of variety of movies that came out, and movies were popular. It was like E.T., Die Hard, and Terminator, and it was all over the shop. Now it's just. We have movies on streaming and superhero movies at the cinema. And nothing else can make money because no one cares. Everyone's just going to see Spider-Man.
I think for what this movie actually was. Now, okay, right, for the people who this movie is for, having it be a $90 million movie is good, right? Because it makes it a fucking spectacle. It makes it really beautiful.
I'm glad we watched this.
Yeah. In
the theater,
but the sound was very loud.
I think from a purely like a production point of view, I don't think it needed to be a $90 million movie for what it actually is.
I think a lot of that though is filming on site.
Probably,
yeah.
A lot of that goes into locations.
Yeah,
shipping all the stuff there.
Yeah. I don't think it needed to be a $90 million. It's
I don't know if you cut it down. That's
you
the
don't
beauty
get that.
of it.
You don't get
it's
those
the epic
vistas,
scale. It's the every frame of painting.
Yeah,
you put this on like how they film shit now on a blue screen. Fuck that.
Yeah,
no, that's fair.
But then it would look like fucking 300.
Schlocky, yeah.
Well, Love and Thunder.
The only reason I say that is again for the audience
because you don't like beauty.
I don't like big vistas. I don't like Iceland specifically, right? It's great. It's a boon for the people who are going to watch it, but no one's going to watch it, right?
Well, it'll be interesting to see how much money it makes. It needs to make back double 90, I guess.
I don't even know how they marketed it. I don't think they marketed it as a fucking like Hamlet on steroids or whatever. Right?
No, it looked like Gladiator or something.
Yeah, which...
Or that Robin Hood Ridley Scott one.
You know, that's a great way to trick people into watching a movie that they wouldn't have watched, right?
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting.
There's some pretty full-on, like, fucking gore scenes.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
some really good
for
action
sure, for
scenes.
sure,
I mean,
yeah.
if that's what you're going
And
to
it-
see the film
If you're a
for,
lover of movies, you'll love it.
it's...
And it is a simple story, right? So people would follow.
Yeah.
And also, if you're a fan of like Vikings, the TV show, and all trippy shit in Vikings,
you'd be a
right?
fan of
This gives you
more of that.
all of that.
One of them D&D nerds,
Yeah,
if you will.
that's a thing.
A group of people that enjoy movies.
I saw now again. I don't know. Before I knew it was a play, I saw the betrayal coming. Right?
Yeah.
I saw that fucking coming.
It was
a mile away.
foreshadowed.
Yeah.
Like the brother is darker, and he's got fucking dogs, and he's
Yeah.
you know. He's. I think he's announced by the barking of a dog in the very beginning of the
Yeah.
film. He's announced by the barking of a dog.
And then his
It's
kid
like,
starts like crying over the top of the whole
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
And he like berates Willem Dafoe.
yeah.
Yeah, well, for calling
Well,
him
that's
out for
because
being
he's a
a fucking
tyrant. He's a tyrant because he's gonna fucking punish the jester.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I like the mother's switch though. She's just like, fuck you, fuck all of this, you're scum, I got kidnapped.
He ordered your death with my blessing.
Yeah.
I like that. I liked
convinced
it.
him to fuck
I knew she wasn't gonna be on board with him though.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Yeah.
I felt like
Yeah. That was
a
gonna be
cliche.
pretty obvious.
But again, though, even though these are cliches that we're talking about, is that because it's just a well-known? It is itself a well-known story.
Yeah, well, it's what's the proverb? The fucking, if you set out on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves before you leave. The quintessential revenge story.
Yeah, I think this is
It's an
what
old tale. It's
it is a
being
very
retold
old
for
tale, which is fine. That
hundreds
makes
and
it
hundreds of
fine,
years.
right?
Yeah. This guy, Alexander Skarsgård, his brother is Gustav Skarsgård, who's Floki, and his dad is Stellan Skarsgård, who's the Baron.
Skarsgård.
Skarsgård, right.
Squiz guy. Yeah, well, so was that our main protagonist?
Yeah, the main guy.
Yeah.
He did alright, he
He's
yelled
fucking
loud.
jacked.
Yeah.
And everybody yells so much
Fucked a bunch
in
of
this
people
movie.
up,
They're fucking screaming at
But
him.
something that was actually distracting was his fucking physique, because it's like a modern...
He's like
Well,
hunched
yeah, he's
over.
always
No,
like...
but he's
I
got...
wanted him to stand up straight so bad, eh?
Yeah,
That was giving me a
Your
fucking
posture.
sore neck.
you're
Holy
old.
shit.
That's 'cause you're old.
He's all like this.
That's when he's like a... Yeah, no, even when he's not a slave, he's like that. Does he
I think
stand up
he's-
straight in battle?
I don't think he can. I think his neck sticks out at a fucking 45-degree angle.
But he's got scoliosis.
But
Spina bifida.
his actual physique is like a modern dehydrated body, like builder sort of
He
person.
has very
physique.
low percentage fat,
Fat,
but
yeah.
I don't know whether like Viking berserkers
I
would have
don't
like
know.
chub.
That's a question that I asked
They don't.
myself.
They don't even
right?
find carbohydrates or sugar or anything. Like they're running and fighting and
And
eating
just eating
meat
meat,
and
yeah.
doing mushrooms. Like I don't. They wouldn't have. I don't know. Maybe
No, I don't know.
it would differ. They'd be ripped
Yeah, of
Viking
course.
berserkers. They'd be
Yeah.
fat ones.
Yeah.
It just so happens that all the ones in this movie were incredibly ripped.
Super.
Absolutely.
Like,
Handsome.
that they'd been on a cut for like 3 weeks or something before shooting that particular scene, before going into that battle. And, oh man, I'm gonna watch my fucking calorie intake.
Maybe that's like where $500,000 of the 90s for all the fucking
The dietitians and the
testosterone. Here you go, boys. Take all these
the
pills.
director. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, it was fucking. Yeah, it was a hell of an experience.
Yeah.
Very surreal, very fucking epic, but grounded with its story. A little bit sort of, for me, a little bit jilted, with the sort of play stuff. But that's part of what
What
they
it is,
wanted to
yeah.
achieve.
Yeah.
With it, which is fine. That makes it fine.
Yeah.
Right? If you accept that that's what it is.
Yeah, I thought it was inherently beautiful and like its framing and the action sequences and the dialogue and just how it was executed, it was on a very high level, and then it went into obscurity and Macbeth and high fantasy, and I loved the fuck out of it, and I want to watch it again and see what I think the second time. And it's not as weird and crazy and insane and good as The Lighthouse. He didn't have final cut on the movie.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and there were some like people test screenings. Somebody said there's a line in it where he says, "I'm gonna drown you in fire" to the main guy.
Yeah.
And one of the notes back to the director was, "I don't understand, you never drowned him in fire." So yeah.
What is the
Test
metaphor?
screenings. So yeah, he didn't have final cut. He said in interviews that he thinks this is the movie he wanted to make.
That's fair.
But yeah, I think when you step up to $90 million, you can't make the
I
Lighthouse.
was actually thinking that.
No.
I was actually
You can't
thinking.
make the fucking aspect ratio, the black and white. The pure insanity.
But
It did like hit some high points. Willem Dafoe's skull and stuff.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that was
fucking
The
fucking
music
crazy.
would like peak at
Brutal,
these
brutal.
high intensities, and I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was a brutal movie, right? And it was a traditional play and a traditional retelling of a saga,
Yeah.
as old as time,
Amleth.
dressed up with
As
the
a modern day.
yeah, with the modern cuttings and features of fucking that we
Yeah.
all are used to now, the brutality and gore and sort of
Psychedelia.
and psychedelic stuff.
What are your
But-
final thoughts, Jasper?
So I said at the beginning, just watch Valhalla Rising. You don't need to fucking go to the movies. no, it's good.
Thank you all for watching.
Just watch Vikings season 5 or whatever it is.
Season 8, that's the best one.
16.
How many seasons are there now?
I don't know. It's done.
Well, they've got a spin-off series.
I started watching that.
Valhalla.
It's okay. It's not bad.
That
I
lost
started
me.
watching. Yeah, I watched 3 episodes. I don't know
Yeah.
who the characters are or what they're doing, but there are some scenes which are like kind of tense. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, you're trying to do a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
I found out, like, my biggest gripe was that I think I got 3 or 4 episodes in. My biggest gripe is that the main characters are like Mary Sue. What's the male? version?
Gary Stu.
Gary.
Yeah, they're Mary Sue and Gary Stu.
Yeah.
Basically, they're your main characters. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Well,
it's cool, but
That's boring, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
so
plot armor.
Boneless, Ivor the Boneless became
Yeah.
a silly character, like in season whatever it was,
It lost its fucking way.
and
As
like
soon as it lost Travis Fimmel, it's just like, what is The Sopranos without James Gandolfini? Like, I don't know. When you go back and watch those first 4 seasons, it's all fucking Ragnar.
Yeah.
Polo is fine, Floki's fine, but if there's no Ragnar, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it fucking it basically ended up being like for me.
So did they? Yeah, I don't know.
No,
it ended. They died.
Oh, who cares?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm not.
It for me, right? It's like Ivar. It was 2 things, right? The series turned into 2 things. You'd switch between Ivar being silly, right, and being like and getting crazier and crazier, and the antics getting crazier and crazier,
Yeah.
and then you'd switch between that and fucking Floki's misadventures with the dumbest colonists on the planet. Right? Imagine going to like the
Yeah,
most
yeah, yeah,
inhospitable wasteland.
And just being absolutely retarded.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
well, fucking, he fucking looked at me the wrong way. I'm gonna fucking kill him when he fucking sleeps. And then between that and then, we've got no food because it's an inhospitable wasteland, and it's like a murder mystery and a revenge fucking thing, and it's just like these people deserve to die.
Yeah, leave
they're gonna
them.
die. Yeah.
We hate. Well, this is the problem. I hate watching movies where you just fucking hate every single character.
And they make dumb.
Yeah, they're stupid. They're resentful. they're fucking arrogant. And it's just like I don't want to watch any of these people.
If they act like if they do everything in their power to basically kill themselves off in the colony,
Yeah,
all
let
you're
them.
doing is rooting for them to die.
Yeah,
Right? Just die already.
There's so many shows that are like that. Eh? So many fucking shows.
It's just dumb, right? It's like there's a great cliche, right? And it was in fucking the modern Planet of the Apes. I think it was the second one or the third one, War of the Planet.
Yeah.
They're in a convoy to go do diplomacy with the apes or whatever. And there's that one guy. They're all told not to bring guns, and he brings a gun, right? Because he's like an ape racist or whatever, right? And
an ape confederist.
and they have an interaction while the main leader has gone on ahead. They've all parked in their car and stayed back. And the main asshole, right, is there, and they have some weird interaction that he misinterprets as fucking, and he fucking starts a war by like just being
a retard.
Yeah, being a fucking retard. It's like, well, you deserve to die. You and everybody else trusting you.
Give him to the apes and let them hang.
Yeah. And it's like. Floki's colony was all, they were all like that.
All assholes and then Floki just getting dragged through the mud, failing.
I think they had a sequence of where they would have some dispute between the two groups or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And then the dispute would be resolved through some means, and the group that lost out of the dispute, right, would then go, okay, we need to get revenge for the fact that we lost in the dispute, which would create another dispute. And it would just go backwards.
Well, I think what the problem was is that after I think they had like an idea of like, we're going to tell, this is the story we're going to tell. They told that story and it became really popular. And they went, okay, we need to continue telling stories. And one of the stories, I think what would have happened is it would have been saying like they're all sitting around in a room and deciding on like, well, what stories can we tell? And they go, okay,
Iceland.
well, what about colonising Iceland? And they go, okay, well, we'll go to colonise Iceland. But they can't just have like, hey, we're all happy families. We've got to create drama.
They deliberately brought the one guy who is the main asshole of like all the secondary characters and his entire family, and also the family,
the asshole family,
and the family that he hates.
These rivals.
They brought two.
And they don't even want to go home. At one point, Floki's just like, why don't you go home then, Jekyll's like, nah, I'm staying here.
I'm gonna stay here.
Why? Because I'm staying. That's what we're doing now. I'm gonna kill all these people. They're gonna kill us.
Oh, that's funny. And then meanwhile,
So
Ivor the
stupid.
Boneless is like, now he's walking around and he's
straight away.
It took like 10 episodes for him to go like, oh yeah, I'm crippled, but I can overcome my being a cripple by being a fucking psychopath. I'm still a psychopath, but now I can fucking walk, right? And now I've got a chariot, and now I'm gonna cover myself in blood and be a tyrant. And it's like, oh, I'm so bored. Just no! And then Lagatha.
That was the funny.
Yeah, so it just lost me.
Yeah,
I just couldn't do it. I was like,
No, Lagatha was bullshit. That was just.
Wouldn't age, wouldn't die. Stuck on for so long. After everyone else had gone, of that generation, there's like a completely new generation.
Yeah, a
of
whole
characters.
new generation.
Rollo was gone, Floki was gone, Ragnar was gone, Athelstan was gone, everyone was gone, King Egbert was gone, Lagatha was still there.
And
She was starting to come into her prime. That's the whole thing.
She was, having an arc.
yeah, she gets new arts and it's like,
You're killing me.
50 years later, my name's Lagatha and I've got a grey wig now. Yeah, it's fucking...
She was defending like a little village of kids from barbarians. Alright, thank you.
That's it.
No.
Oh, that's funny. Fucking Vikings.